All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone. I'm Patricia Missakian, the founder of the Akashic Records Institute and creator of Let Your Soul Purpose Guide You, a journey to reconnect to your wisdom through the Akashic Records. And every week, I come here to give you a class on a different subject. And what we're going to teach today, we're going to talk about the higher self, your higher self. So it's one of my favorite subjects. All my Akashic Records programs comes, we first connect with your Akashic Records before you even go into your records or to the records of someone. And there is a very specific reason for that. And we're going to talk about that today. But before we go into the classes, so that more people that are planning to be here can join us, I want to give a little notification. For those of you that know or don't know, YouTube closed my older channel, so we are creating a new channel. And because of that, some of my classes got deleted. So one of the classes that got deleted was the Introduction to Sacred Crystal Codes. So, and basically everyone that order a copy of the Oracle deck that I created, Sacred Crystal Codes, you receive access to this class, which no longer exists. And in that class, you're going to learn how you can bless your deck, how you can clean your deck, how you can bless your deck, and how you can use your deck. So tomorrow, I'm going to re-record the class. And some of you that want to join me live, I'm going to post the link down below. For now, if you don't have a deck, there is no point for you to come to the class to learn how to bless the deck. But you can still order your deck if you want. You're welcome to participate. It's going to be open. It's going to be tomorrow, Friday at 4 p.m. And then everyone that ordered the deck after tomorrow are going to have, direct access to this class. So if you have a deck, please reach out to me so I can give you the link so you can participate tomorrow for the class. So that's the only notification that I had today. And hi, Andrea. Hi, everyone that is coming in. Excited to have some of you here and excited for those of you that are watching the replay. So let's go directly to today's class, which is about your higher self. And as we go, please leave your comments below or any ahas or whatever you want to share. All right. But today we're going to talk about higher self. And I'm going to give you a few tips of how can you start that connection if this is something new for you. So first of all, the higher self is you with a bigger understanding of your path here on earth and throughout your whole soul history. So your higher self is basically the divine part of you that helps you through your intuition, with guidance, with opportunities, with, helping you to move through life, right? Now, all of us, know that at some point or another in your life, you felt, you had a difficult time in your life, right? And what happened is, anytime you're going through a difficult situation, most people, as they are going through, it's not an easy path, right? So, but what happened is, anytime that we are maybe in some form of blame or in some form of victim, or really angry at where we are, right? That's the time that your higher self most can help you. And yet, because of that, there is so much going on that we're not able to listen to your higher self, even though your higher self is talking to you. So we're going to talk about that. What can you do to bring your higher self closer to you? It doesn't mean that your higher self is going to be like, see ya, bye-bye. It's not none of that. But it's almost like it goes two ways, right? The more you focus on what's not working in your life, on what other people done, less and less it'll be easier for you to hear your higher self, right? So so this is very important to look for in your day-to-day how you are being. Like, are you focused on what's not working, or are you shifting your perspective to, what can you do to change what is not working? What can you do to bring more aliveness in your life, right? And those are the things that, you heard so many times. It's gratitude, it's excitement, amusement. Those are the energies that not only lift you up, but also makes you vibrate in the energy of your higher self. And it makes easier for your higher self to come closer to you, and for you to be aware that your higher self is closer to you, right? So, so one more thing about that, it's a lot of people ask, okay, so where is the higher self? Is higher self in other dimension? Where is your higher self? So the way that I connect to the higher self, I connect mostly the best place for you to connect to your higher self. It's your your eighth chakra, the eighth layer. You have your 7 main chakras in your body, right? And then your chakras continue upwards, and so in the eighth chakra is the best place for your higher self to give you direct wisdom, right? So when I teach my students, we have 2 programs where we go more into higher self, and that is like a deeper meditation that you can use to connect to your higher self. Both are Dive and the Akashic Records program. But basically, we call your higher self, we get used to always call your higher self, and your higher self is always going to sit at your 8th chakra, right? So that you can receive the direct wisdom from your higher self. One thing that both, like, how does your higher self look? For example, right? Does the higher self has the same size as me? No, your higher self is this, bigger dimension of you. So it's almost like if you call your higher self, all you're gonna get is like a part of your higher self, right? Because it's so big that it doesn't fit in our dimension here. It's the same as the work that I do with archetypes. Anytime I work like with archetypes, including, was so funny, when I was doing my live event in Brazil, we had this amazing group of women that came from all over Brazil to my live event last year. And in one of the sessions, I called the archetypes, and we did some work with the archetypes. And one of my friends that actually sees spirits, I don't see, like I see with my inner mind, I don't actually see it in the world, right? I connect in a different way. But my friend that sees, he was like, but I always knew that they were very, very tall and very, very big. So when I call them into the room, when I call them into a healing, I can feel like the legs, like, and the hands. And my friend, actually, he mentioned the same thing. He's like, they were so big, Patricia. And I'm like, yes. So, but the same thing is your higher self. It's not like in the same dimension. Like, it's not like how we perceive our bodies in this dimension, right? And again, welcome everyone that is coming in. Please leave your questions, and I'm going to come and I'm going to go and answer all the questions at the end. But I do have a few points that I wanted to go through, so we can have a direction in today's live. So first of all, who is your higher self? We already talked about that. Where is your higher self, right? And then and it doesn't mean that your higher self is going to always stay here at the top, because sometimes your higher self travels. Sometimes your higher self put things into place for you. So higher self don't stay always here. He goes and he comes back. But the more you call your higher self, the more you feel connected to your higher self, and the more you can grow this relationship. Now, one very important point, which I start touching up in the beginning of a live today, is to watch out for drama llama, right? The one thing about higher self if you can know, like, if you can, like, the most important thing, if you could stick with one thing in this life, is that higher self vibrates in the energy of amusement, right? It's amusement. So the easiest and fastest way to connect to your higher self, to call your higher self for you, is amusement. Now, most of the time, if you are living a drama, if you are tending to bring drama into your life, less and less you're going to be able to hear your higher self. It doesn't mean that your higher self is not going to come, it's not going to be close to you, but it's harder for you to hear your higher self when you are so focused on what's not working, because all your attention there and you're not seeing everything that is here. Yesterday, we are talking about actually, yesterday I was teaching the class Money Guides, and we are talking about the solution. I have one mandala that says the solution is already around you, right? But most people, they are so focused on the problem, on what's not working, that it blinds them to see the solution that is already around them. So it's the same thing. The higher self is right here, is giving you the insights, is bringing you the opportunities. But if you are not, if your vibration is in worry, is in drama, is in complaining, you're not going to see it, right? So the first step to learn to connect to your higher self, bring more of the energy of your higher self to you, to your life, so you can co-create this amazing journey that you're here to co-create with your higher self, is number one, notice how you are being. Like how you are being at every single moment of your day. And, for some people, you might want to even start a journal and notice, like, okay, I wake up in the morning and what happens, right? I start, I come here and I do this and I talk to this person, start noticing every single moment of your day, how you're being. Is that some situations that it's bringing you down, or it's making you feel upset? Or so anytime that happens, the first step is to be aware. As soon as you are aware of how you're relating to things, how you're being at every single moment, you have the power to change, right? So if you are upset with something, and you notice, okay, so I got upset with this thing. What can I do about it? Is that something that I need? Do I need to be around this energy, right? Can I create a better situation for myself where I don't have to be around this energy, right? Whatever, for every person is going to be different, right? And you may say, oh, Patricia, but you don't know my life. So I can guarantee you I've been there. And in my experience, that is, you have the power to shift at any time and moment, at any moment that you are feeling down, that you are upset because the money didn't show up. You have the power to look at this. Okay, this is an invitation for me to do something, right? And it may be, you may be connecting to someone, you may be wanted to look into that and stay with those feelings and allow those feelings to show you what is here for you. Anytime that is, I don't agree with people saying, let's clear all that out without actually look at it, right? So any emotions that you're feeling, if you don't give attention to it, they're going to continue staying and blocking inside your body. So first thing you need to do is to connect to it, allow that energy, that emotions to be expressed. And then once it's expressed, then you have the power to do something about it, right? So it's calling someone that can lift you up. It's watching a funny movie that sometimes it's all you need. Remember, a higher self vibrates in the energy of joy, amusement, laugh, right? So watch a funny movie and notice how your energy starts shifting, right? So the first one is this: notice how you're being, notice your feelings, notice, what is the main emotion at every single time in your day. And look at, give attention to it, and then see what can I do to shift this. And again, leave your comments and I'll come back to it. Then the second thing is to actually notice not only, how you're being with yourself, but how you're being with others. What are the seeds that you're planting in situations around you, with people around you? And like, you look at every single interaction that you have in your life, right? When you go to the supermarket, to the person, to the cashier, how are you being with the person? What are the seeds that you're planting? With people that with your friends, with your clients, with your family, every single moment, what seed I'm planting in this relationship? And if you're not planting a seed that you're proud of, what can you do to change? What is what is to be grateful, even in the situations that, even with the people that push your buttons, right? Because there is always something they're actually giving you a gift to bring your awareness to something, right? It doesn't mean that they have to be next to you for the rest of their life. Sometimes, people just come and give the gift of calling your attention to something, and they go on the merry way, right? But the more you get the message, the easier is to for you to move on and to more and more experience what you want to experience in your life, right? So your higher self, once again, your higher self always vibrates in the high amusement energy. Now, higher self sometimes gives you a kick in the head too. Bang! How many of you ever can relate to get a little bang in the head from the higher self, right? When you don't listen to your higher self, he will bring situations that you're gonna shake you up, that is gonna, snap you out of it, right? Not like to make fun of you or any of that, but just to get you to move to shift you in the right way, right? So I'd love to hear, have you, I'm getting the comments here, have you ever noticed, situations in your life that, you're like, man, I just got this kick in my butt, or like this neck in my head. So that is usually also like your higher self helping you to self-correct your direction. In my story, when I had my branding business, I used to do branding with Akashic Records. I still do. I just don't do it. I still do like for small groups and retreats and to my private clients. But before, that was all that I did. I would connect to the Akashic Records of the business and help the clients to create a brand in alignment with their soul purpose. But at the time, I had a very specific clientele that I loved to work with, which were, women and men, like with open heart, like, more people that had a big mission here in the world, right? So those are the clients that were passionate to work with. Yet, because of fear, I accepted some clients, and there were like a bunch of men, like a girl that had like a gym thing, and like a bunch of men that had like the insurance thing, which was totally not my ideal client, right? They were completely not in alignment with, the people that I was vibrating with. And what happened is I took the clients, and then, I got in. That was the way that my higher self gave me like my kick in my head. And that did not work it out. And it was so bad that I'm like, I'm done. I'm not doing design at all. And I completely stopped at the time, which was exactly what I needed to found the Akashic Records Institute and start teaching Akashic Records, right? So sometimes, a situation may come to your life and you may not understand of, being resistant to that, but that may be exactly what you need to help you steer in the right direction. Melissa just said that she had the same kick in the butt. Yes. And the thing is, it is so interesting because, especially when you look at money is such an interesting energy, right? Because anytime that something comes that way, or anytime that you know, you don't give yourself something because of fear or because of money, the universe finds its way to reorchestrate, to reorganize, right? So in my case, those clients, they never paid me, and they owed at the time, it was like the last parcel or whatever that was, it was like $1,600. And within a month, and I let it go. I made this, you know, I did this work with my Akashic Records that I actually, you know, signed, and I did this whole thing, and it was like awesome. I just like, you were just like in the moment, and the moment I left my Akashic Records, that stress was all gone. And I said, you know, I give them with love, let them have it, right? So, but the funny thing is that those $1,600 that should have, you know, be paid for the work I did, I let it go, and within a month I made $16,000 because I launched a class at that time, right? So that is, so it's so interesting. So the same thing for you, Melissa. You know, the universe just realigns. It goes that way, you know, but it comes back. It's when you really let it go, it comes back in such, you know, abundant way, because it's you're no longer that person, right? And then go back to what I just said, you know, notice the seeds that you're planting. So if a person planted a bad seed because of whatever was going on with them, especially like they're probably like a coaching client, right? So they didn't do their part, and then they're blaming you from, I don't know the situation, but whatever it was, right? So, but by letting it go, the universe realigns itself, and it's going to come to you, and it ends up leaving them somehow, right? Because I truly trust in this, the balance of the universe, right? So, but the more you stay attached to it, less and less you are able to receive, the vibration from your higher self, which is going to help you to start shifting from that level. And now, one more thing that I put on my notes is that at any given moment, also ask yourself, anytime you are in doubt, anytime you don't know what decision to make, or, you can just close your eyes and just mentally call your higher self to your 8th chakra, right? And just connect with, what the bigger version of me wants to do about the situation. What's the bigger version of me, wanted to, how he wants to move through this situation, right? So you're always calling that part of you that is you, that has this higher, understanding, the higher consciousness, and that, and it can see things from the far. Because when we are here in the middle of it, right, it's hard to separate your emotions, your attachments to whatever is going on in the situation, right? So let me just go back here. Oh, sorry. Okay, so my hand got right on top of it. So let me look at the comments and questions. I'm not sure if I missed some comments. I only see Melissa's now. Sorry, guys. Charlie Lally, good thing from Aussie. Very cool. Hi, Heather. And Melissa shared, ever since doing your meditation, that she's talking about the higher self meditation in the program, I can feel a tingly pressing energy on my head every time I call my higher self. That's awesome. That's great. That's, shows that sensitivity that you're feeling through your sensitivity, your higher self too. Very cool. So one thing, the more you connect to your higher self, you're going to notice, this is a great that Melissa shared. Anytime you're connecting to your higher self, you're going to notice a particular way, and the more you do it, the easier it is. So Melissa shared, when she connects to her higher self, she feels a tingly, right? For me, anytime that I get two very distinct ways that my higher self calls my attention now, One interesting one is if there is something that, if something is coming that I'm not gonna like it. I know exactly how it comes. Anytime there is this, something it's coming, I need to be aware of something, or, sometimes it's good things, but this particular one, most of the time, usually I don't like it. Sometimes later I figure out why, but so basically what I hear is this, like, it's almost like my sense shuts down and I hear this ring, but it lasts like maybe 15 seconds. It's like my sense shuts down and I hear this ring and I say, okay, there is something big coming. That's how my higher self, tells me when there is something big coming. And then when there is something really, really good coming, like some, those synchronicities and, all those things, usually what comes to me, I see these like golden sparkles. So, so as soon as I see that, I start noticing and paying attention. So you're going to know, the more you connect to your higher self, the more you're going to know, you're going to be able to pinpoint, these distinctive ways. And it doesn't have to be two ways, like Melissa shared one way, right? Let me see, there's one more comment here. That's a great question. Melissa said, said, I normally pray to God, but wondering how to connect via higher self and via God. God then flows through to my higher self to me. Well, every person connects to God. Some people call God, some people call the universe, some people call the greatest goddess, Mother Earth, right? So I see it a different connection, higher self and God, the universe, right? The higher self, it's almost like it's very connected to you, right? And universe, source, God is, I see as possibilities that are all around and within us. That is my the way that I see it. Let me know if that makes sense for you. Hi, Betty. So Betty wrote a question. I'm new to this and I don't know how to tap into the Akashic Records. I understand you're talking about your higher self. Yes, I'm talking about the higher self today. And inside my certification program to connect it to your Akashic Records and the Akashic Records of your clients, the first thing that the students learn, I have a specific meditation created to connect to your higher self. Right. And then once you establish that connection, especially like the very first week that you learn with me, we don't even go into the Akashic Records until you are at least 1 week connected with your higher self, because no one better than your higher self to protect your space, to know what is better for you. So I'm very, very big on boundaries. So I want to empower my students to learn to connect to the Akashic Records, but first, always in alignment with their higher self. So, so the first thing we learn is to connect to your higher self. Now, I wanted to give something simple for everyone that is here in the live, a simple way for you to start this connection with your higher self. So one simple way is to, spend some moments, like a few minutes by running energy. And the reason that is important to run energy is because one of the biggest blocks for you to hear your intuition and your higher self is going to communicate with you through your intuition. So first intuition, higher self. So your higher self is going to communicate to you, with you, through your intuition, right? So the first thing, you wanted to clear the noise and the beliefs and the blocks and everything that, you throughout your lifetime up until now and past lives, you accumulated in your body, right? So the memories, every memory you have, at the moment you live in the memory, you're attaching beliefs, you're attaching feelings to those memories, and all that gets stuck inside your body. And with all this noise, it's hard for you to hear your intuition. So the first thing, you know, in order to clear your system to start your connection to your higher self is, you know, running energy. I offer a free 7 minutes running energy MP3 and a PDF that explains everything. So all you need to do is go to akashicrecordsinstitute.com/unlock. My team can put the link later here. But that is the best way to start clearing the block. And then when you're running energy, you just mentally call your higher self, start calling your higher self. You know, visualize your higher self on the top of your head and say, higher self, come to me, and just stay with me and start the connection of consciously start calling your higher self. Anytime you are on your day-to-day, like, you know, think about what can I do to bring amusement now in my life. So those two things, run energy to clear the stuff that is running around that is, you know, taking you from listening, and then start consciously as you're running energy, call your higher self, and then you ask a question. You know, you can say something like, bring it to me some wisdom about this situation, you know, whatever that is. And then you don't, you know, the same thing is like, you don't put a seed in the floor and keep looking at it to see if the plant came out of the sprout out of the floor, right? So you ask for your higher self and you trust, and you know, and you're open throughout your day to receive that you ask. Okay, to receive that wisdom that you ask. But the best way to learn to connect to higher self, start that relationship, running energy, so you can clear the clutter, and the gutter, clear the clutter, and then, you know, consciously start calling your higher self, asking a question, and just go on your merry day and notice for when it comes. So so this is what I had for today for you. So I'm gonna now look for questions and answer all your questions. One very important thing, on the 21st, let me actually show there's something very cool coming up in the 21st. Let me see if that is actually the date. Yes, it is the 21st. Okay, on the 21st at 1 p.m., which is in 2 Thursdays from now, I am offering a powerful masterclass. And let me see if the link is here. Just give me a moment. Let me go and get it. And I can actually put it here in the... So we're going to start a new round of our Akashic Records certification program, one of the most powerful and in-depth, intensive 6 months program that teaches you not only how to connect to your higher self and to your Akashic Records, but also how you can give powerful Akashic Records sessions for your clients and build a business in alignment with your soul purpose. And, you know, we're going to create something very, very unique for your niche. So this is something very special. I was not planning to offer a certification program right now. However, because YouTube deleted my channel, all the classes, the live class that I offer got deleted too. So I am doing this for the students that were in the last class so they can have their replays, and also for the new students. So this is going to be fun. We're going to have a beautiful class together. And let me get the link for you. That's in Portuguese. So I thought I had it here. All right, blow through webinar. Actually, we're going to have an intuition webinar first. So I'm going to drop the link. It's a big link. Yes, you do, Melissa. Yes. In the Akashic Records certification, you learn how to connect to the Akashic Records of your business. Absolutely. And it's amazing. So let me go here on the Facebook so I can drop the link for you guys. So I'm going to put this link in my main page so you can save your seat for the class. Okay, here you go. So if you're watching this live from somewhere else, come to the Akashic Records Institute fan page. And underneath this video, I'm going to place the link for you to save your seat in the webinar. And there you go. And actually, I make sure that this is the webinar for the 21st. Is that the one? Yes, the 21st. Yes. So this webinar is the Akashic Records and your intuition. Even if you're not intuitive, even if you think you're not intuitive, I'm going to bust that belief in the webinar. So this class, you're going to learn how you can access your intuition with full confidence and say goodbye to doubt and disbelief. You're going to discover how working with the Akashic Records makes super easy and simple to receive guidance, because everyone can access the Akashic Records, by the way. You're going to experience an energetic coaching session where I'm going to connect with my healing guides, and we're going to tune into you, guiding you to let go of blocks to accessing your intuition at a deeper level. So it's going to be a very powerful. I'm so bummed that we lost the old ones. We lost these webinar the last time I did it. Every time I do this webinar, it's going to be about 90 minutes at least. So save that time for you. It starts on the Thursday the 21st at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. It's going to go 90 minutes. And yes, there will be a replay, Charlie. So we will have a replay for you. So, but it's going to be amazing. And there is no more copies on the internet for the last time I offered. So, and every time I do an Akashic clearing, this healing session that you're going to receive in the webinar is different, because, every time, every single person that show up or will show up is contributing for this powerful energy healing session that you're going to receive in the webinar. So make sure to save the date on your calendar, or if you can't, still sign up so that you can watch the replay. The replay is going to probably be available for a few days after the webinar. All right. Any more questions about? Let's see if there is questions here in the YouTube. A few days after the webinar. I see Maria live. Oh, cool. I see you here. You're still here in the YouTube. Maria is asking, oh yeah, I mentioned that for everyone. I mentioned that tomorrow I'm doing a live class for everyone, a free class for everyone that order the Oracle deck. So Maria is asking where to order. You just go to sacredcrystalcodes.com. Sacred is the name of the Oracle. Sacred, but it's opposite here. Sacredcrystalcodes.com. And you can order your deck. And then, of course, probably not going to arrive tomorrow, the deck, but you can still participate in the class. And there will be a replay for when the deck actually arrives. All right. Any other questions? Any shares? You're so welcome, Charlie, and welcome to Soul Purpose. Make sure to join our Facebook group. I don't know if I see you there. What else? I think no more questions, guys. I see you. I just added you. Perfect. All right. So I don't see any questions. So awesome, Maria. Beautiful. So as soon as you order your deck, I'll send you the link for you to participate tomorrow. I'll be in Palm Springs. It'll be a different background here, but it's good that I can take my business wherever I go. So anyways, I am looking forward to see you guys soon, and see you when I see you. I'm working on stick to a schedule, so I'm gonna try to do a Facebook Live on Sunday. Again, I'll be in Palm Springs. The problem with Sunday is to make a time on Sunday. Sunday we wake up, and then my husband makes chocolate chip pancakes, and then there's coffee, and then I love to finish my breakfast and do the reading for the week. For those of you that don't know, every Sunday I do a reading for the week where I take 3 cards for the week, and I'd love to have a time to do it, but I don't. But so, make sure to follow me, Patricia Missakian, so when I go live on Sunday, you can participate. And usually I'm going to do a live here on YouTube and also on Facebook. You're so welcome, guys. Good to see you, Lisbeth. So you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.